Good morning, everybody. It's Ramona, and I am back from Italy. I had a absolutely fantastic trip to Italy. It was just amazing. I have tons of pictures on Facebook. Feel free to go over and have a look there. It's public. I'm not going to be, don't send me a friend request because, I don't know you, but please feel free to look at all my pictures. The highlight of the trip probably for me was we went to Florence one day and we hiked up two towers. The first one was the Bell Tower at Piazza Vecchio. That was like 180 steps, and I was sick as a dog. You'll see I had this ugly like gnome toque on. I had already been on antibiotics before I left town. It was cold there. But anyway, and my goal was then to make sure I hiked to the top of the Duomo, the big cathedral there, which is 438 steps. And I did it, and I was sick, and I'm so proud of myself. The view was friggin' amazing. The Duomo, we had a private tour of the Duomo. Not a private tour, but there was like 7 of us, I guess. Which definitely, there are certain things, when you go visiting places, you kind of don't need tours for, and we kind of weeded them out. But we did have a private tour of or not a private tour, but a guided tour of the Colosseum, because when you pay for the extra guided tours, they take you up and down to places that the non-paying customers don't go. So the Colosseum tour, if you go to the Colosseum, get a guided tour. It was like 9. If you want to go to the upper levels, it was €9. The bottom level was €9, or if you bought both of them, it was €15. So that was definitely worth a guided tour. We had a guided tour of the Scavi underground, the Vatican. That was well worth the money, and the guided tour of the Duomo, also well worth the extra bucks. Okay, so anyway, I have tons of pictures. Had a fabulous vacation. It was amazing. And so for shopping goes, this is like my Italy haul, for clothing and things of that nature, by the time you do the exchange, it wasn't really any better for that. Yeah, there's lots of like kitschy stuff in the tourist centers, which I didn't really buy much of. I did buy some rosaries at the Vatican for myself and my sisters and mom. I bought them a couple little things as well. But I didn't really do any shopping for me as far as clothing, or I wanted to buy a piece of Italian gold, but gold isn't any cheaper there than it is here, so I didn't. My friend bought a nice leather purse, but like I have a million purses, and nine times out of 10, I go out of the house with my wallet. I'm just a wallet person. So I kind of thought about it. I was like, well, no. Anyway, but what did I buy? Food. Yes, food. The food was amazing. I'm kind of over pasta right now, but the pasta was amazing. One of my favorite dishes there was called cacio e pepe, which is just cheese and pepper and olive oil, and that is it. And it is fantastic. I had it a couple times. We went to one place called Penne e Salami, P-A-N-E-E Salami, S-A-L-A-M-E. If you go to Rome, you must go to Penne e Salami. We ate there twice. So it's just kind of like a cutting board style where... Oh, you got to see the pictures on Facebook. I wish I knew how to post pictures here. I don't. I'm just like an idiot when it comes to this. But anyway, they bring you this long or small, depending on what size, but there was 7 of us. So we had 2 of these humongous boards, cutting boards, with like cheese and olives and different kinds of meat, prosciutto, guanciale, salame, it was to die for. And that's how I like to eat now. I like to sip wine, and I'm a nibbler. Sip and nibble, sip and nibble. It was fabulous. We went there twice. That was my favorite restaurant in all of Rome. So let me start there. Speaking of penne e salami and this cutting board, or meat board, I guess it was a meat and cheese board. One of the things on the board was onion jam. And it was kind of like on little toast points, and I think they cooked the jam down so much that they cooked the onions down. See, I'm so excited about food, I can't even talk. Until it turns into this jam business. And they had it on little toast points, and they also had it on these little cracker things. They're like little, they look like tortellini, but they're crackers, and of course they kind of get smushed in the suitcase, but I wanted to at least try to bring a bag back. And this one is the one with olive oil on it. So they're just little nibbles, and you just put some onion jam on top of it. So I got some onion jam, and then I also bought, because they also had, this is mushroom and truffle jam or spread or pate sauce, I guess they call it. But they had these on these little cracker rounds as well. This is also, oh my God, so good. So I had to get a bottle of that too. And both of these came from a humongous food market called Italy, E-A-T-A-L-Y. Or Italy, E-A-T-A-L-Y, I think. Anyway, it is 4 floors of food. And if you are a foodie, you would just think you were in heaven. Like, one floor is all like pasta, fresh pasta. You can see them making the pasta. Aisles of dried pasta, different shapes and sizes and textures, and oh, amazing. Aisles of olive oil, aisles of balsamic. Then they had a floor with the hanging Parma hams, cheeses, another floor with I mean, it was just, 4 floors of food. It was an amazing experience. Loved it, loved it. Okay, so while I was there, that's where I bought the mushroom and truffle jam. And I also bought, which I'm not supposed to bring back because you're not supposed to bring back dairy, but a big hunk of Parmigiano Reggiano. And what they do with this is they slice it in thin slices and drizzle some very good balsamic over it. Just a drizzle of balsamic over the Parmesan cheese. So of course I had to get the balsamic. And of course I got the best one, the Oro. This particular brand had 4 different levels, like, you know, silver, bronze, something, something, and the gold. So of course I had to buy the gold. And this was, I believe the price is gone. This was like 15 euros, which it isn't cheap. Some of them were way more expensive. As a matter of fact, we went into another specialty shop where I bought some limoncello. I'll show you in a minute. And there was a bottle of balsamic there for 99 euros. So 15, you know, that's fine. It's certainly better quality than what I would get here. So that is the Parmesan and balsamic. Okay. Also at the Italy market, then they had a whole floor of sweets. Come on now. So this is kind of sticky, but they make these big, you buy chunks of it. It came like in a round, a flat, like a pizza, like a big round, probably a 12-inch flat disc of chocolate, white chocolate, milk chocolate, or dark chocolate. I like dark chocolate. And then they had one with almonds in it, so I bought a hunk with almonds, and this one has orange peel bits in it. This one is my favorite. This is really good. Bitter orange is a flavor over there that's quite common. They really, really like that. And so that was really good. Then we took a drive down. Oh, and we did hire a driver to take us down the Amalfi Coast. We were going to take a big bus, but anyway, as I was reading and doing some research online, I found places that, you know, you can hire a driver. It was between 5 of us. It was 140 euro for the whole day. So we left, we had to take the train from Rome the fast train from Rome to Naples, it is so easy to get around in Rome. There's 2 subway lines, and it's in an X, the red line and the blue line. And in the middle is the train station Termini. And that's where you can switch lines or you get the train to go elsewhere. So we had to take the train to Naples, which was about an hour. And our driver picked us up there, drove us down the Amalfi Coast to Amalfi, Sorrento. Gorgeous, stunning scenery. I mean, just amazing. It was a little overcast the day we were there, but at least it wasn't raining. And so anyway, down the Amalfi Coast, they have lots of lemon trees, and everybody like has a lemon tree in the backyard. Orange trees just hanging all over the place, and they make limoncello down there. Really good limoncello. And so at one of the where we stay like a spit to the Trevi Fountain. We can walk to Trevi like in 2 minutes or less. And of course, it's a very populated touristy area, and there's lots of specialty food stores all over the place. So one store had free limoncello tasting. And so, of course, I got some limoncello, and I got 2 kinds. I got some from Amalfi. You probably can't see that. And some from Sorrento. Now, and they taste, obviously they're both limoncello, but when you taste them side by side, there's definite differences. The Amalfi one is a little bit sweeter than the Sorrento one. The Sorrento one is a little bit tart, but it doesn't make your Jaws do this. It is so mellow. It is so smooth. So I couldn't decide, so I bought them both because that's how I roll. And these were €9 each. And what is in here? How much is in here? I'm not sure how much is in here. Maybe like 250 cc's, milliliters maybe. I'm sure it says on there somewhere. Okay, whatever. So I bought some limoncello, and then I also bought a small one of the hazelnut liqueur. Hazelnut also is huge flavor over there in gelato. Oh, gelato's another even story. Oh my God, the gelato. Okay, but anyway, hazelnut. Everything has hazelnut in it or Nutella in it. I mean, they love their hazelnut over there. So I did buy a small one of that as well. And I think that was like €5, I think. And then, while we were driving down the coast with our driver, Antonio, he was fabulous. He said, well, you know, something we could do is there's a company close by, a factory called, it's not a factory, it's a processing plant, I guess you would say it, called, the G is silent, so I think it's Garulio. I botched that, I don't know. But anyhow, so it's a small little family-owned olive oil processing, I wouldn't even say a plant. It's a big, humongous room, really. But everybody back down the Amalfi Coast or elsewhere, I'm sure, has olive trees on their property, and it's against the law in Italy to cut down an olive tree. Every tree is numbered. You are not allowed to, like if you're buying a piece of property to build a house, you cannot cut down the olive trees on that property. That's against the law. So anyhow, so people have olive trees in their backyard, and so they bring them to this little processing plant, I guess I'll say, for lack of a better word. They process it, and then you have your name on your own olives. These are my olives. They process it. They call you, hey, your olive oil is ready, and then you take your olive oil away. It lasts you for the whole year. And they also bottle their own olive oil as well. So anyway, as soon as he said that, it's like, oh yes, we're gonna do that. I mean, nobody else even had a vote, but they all enjoyed it anyway. So it was a long table, and the gal, her name was Rosanna, started bringing out samples of olive oil. She had 4 little dishes. This one was a little peppery. This one was this was that, this and that and the other. And then she brought out, there probably was like at least 20 little dishes of olive oil for us to taste with little bread squares. Some had rosemary, some had rosemary and peppercorn, some were lemon, some were orange, some had pepper, some had, what else was in there? Ginger, curry. And I love curry, but I didn't quite care for the curry olive oil. Anyway, we were there a long time. And so, of course, you get sucked in. So I did buy a couple bottles to bring back. This one was the DOP. This was kind of like the high quality one. It's a little peppery, which I loved it. This is just kind of straight olive oil. And this one was really good. And then as she was, you know, pouring little samples of all these olive oils, she was giving us ideas of how to use their olive oil. Some people put olive oil over there, like over ice cream, over pound cake, just a million things to do with olive oil, which I never would have thought of. And I also bought a small one of, this one has peppers in it, garlic and hot peppers. So this is gonna be really good as well. And she said, this is really good if you they drizzle olive oil over everything. And I knew the olive oil was different there. I love olive oil anyway. But a couple times I had like bruschetta, like just for lunch or something, and you can tell the olive oil was just so much better. I mean, I could just take olive oil and guzzle it. I mean, that's shameful to say, but I mean, I just love olive oil. I mean, I'm not the only one. But so if you like olive oil, you know, you can tell the difference. It just is, I can't explain it, so much different. So anyhow, I bought these 2 little ones, of course, and then she said, and they ship through FedEx, so of course we all had to buy a couple extra bottles, and so I bought also a bottle of rosemary and peppercorn. I bought a bottle of the lemon one to drizzle. I thought that might be good drizzled over fish. What else did I buy? A garlic one. Anyway, they made their money for the whole year off the 5 of us that day, let me tell you. So that was the olive oil. So I think that's all I have to say about the food experience. Well, I could go on and on about the food experience. One day we also had a private cooking class set up with a private instructor to meet at the market, buy the fresh produce, take it back to her apartment and cook it. I was sick as a dog. It was the day after we went to Florence, which was cold. I just hiked up 2 towers. I was sick to start with, and that just, I could barely breathe. And as a matter of fact, the night we came back from Florence after all the stepping and stuff, whatnot, my roommate, the gal I was